We've been working on converting slope-intercept form to standard form. This is an example of solving a literal equation. I'd like to spend a few more minutes solving literal equations and look at them from a different perspective. Note that solving a linear equation is essentially solving a multivariable equation for a specific variable. So think about that as in solving standard form ax plus by equals c, solving it for y. That's a literal equation. First, let's look at the distance formula. D equals r times t. If we're given this formula and we're asked to solve for t, what can you do first? In order to solve for t, you want to isolate t, so we need to divide by r. That leaves us with t equals d over r. So time is equal to distance divided by rate. Our second example is the circumference formula. C equals 2 pi r. So that's circumference equals 2 times pi times the radius. It's asking us to solve for the radius. So given C equals 2 pi r, if we're going to solve for r, then we need to isolate r. In order to isolate r, we need to get rid of 2 pi. So we'll divide both sides by 2 pi. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Pi divided by pi is 1. 1 times r is r. So r equals c divided by 2 pi. So the radius is equal to the circumference divided by 2 pi. Essentially, we have solved the circumference formula for the radius. So this shows now the relationship between the radius and the circumference. Go ahead and pause the video, and I'd like for you to try to solve the area of a triangle for its height, h. Okay, so let's check your answer. In order to solve for h, we need to isolate h. So first, we need to get rid of this fraction. To get rid of 1/2, we can multiply by its reciprocal on both sides. That leaves us with 2a equals b times h. And again, we're solving for h, so we need to divide both sides by the base. So the relationship then, the height equals twice the area divided by its base. We've taken the area of a triangle formula and we have solved it for its height. Did you get that one right? Try solving the area of a circle for its radius. Go ahead and pause the video and solve the area of a circle for r, the radius. Okay, let's check your work. So in order to solve for the radius, we first need to divide by pi on both sides. Pi divided by pi is 1. So that leaves us with r squared equals area divided by pi. Now let's take a quick note here. To get rid of a square, you have to do the square root. So square root does a squared? There's our little takeaway. So if we have r squared equals area divided by pi, and we take the square root of both sides, the square root undoes the squared. That leaves us with the relationship radius equals the square root of the area divided by pi. That one was a bit tricky. So in order to solve the area of a circle for its radius, you first need to divide by pi and then take the square root of both sides. Alright, I'd like for you to complete your step-by-step guide, log into Edmodo and take your quiz, and then I've got one additional assignment for you today. I'd like for you to write one question for a peer. That one question could be a question that you want answered, or it could be a practice problem. For your peer. But please note, you must have the answer. So if you're going to give a practice problem, you have to answer the question before you give the problem. Okay? So again, I'd like for you to do a step-by-step guide, do your Edmodo quiz, and then write one question for a peer. That can be a question that you want answered, such as, how do you undo an exponent? Or you can write a practice problem for a peer, which makes sure that you bring the answer. All right? Best of luck.